I'm back. Can you hear me? It was going well. That shows me to try and be technical and use a better quality camera, but I'm just using my using my laptop. How are you all out there? Thanks for joining me. Oh, that was a disaster. I'm so bad with technical stuff. I'm terrible with it. Hey David, I'm good, thank you. Hi Davey. Hi Jazzy Rudy. How you doing? Oliver. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. What software am I using for streaming? I'm just using the live YouTube software. Hey Diego, how you doing? Yeah, I just used the live software for streaming. I haven't looked into anything more flash yet. Yeah, I suppose I could. But it takes me a while to learn anything new. I am enjoying the new studio configuration. I am going to be, hopefully in a week or two, if you can see this bit here, that is going to be leaving me very soon. A nice little wall where I'm almost going to have, well, there's going to be some guitars over there, stored over there, but I'm also going to have as much as I can, it almost being like a set, because I'm aiming for my channel to start doing some proper interviews. And I'm also, I can tell you all about it later properly, but I'm going to be doing some online guitar courses that I'm going to be putting up on a new website that will be coming soon. But we can talk about that later. Don't have to talk about that at all. But yeah, I'm turning that section of the room into a little bit. I'm just getting rid of all those units. This studio space that I have, when I moved in here, was being used as the place where someone worked. So it was almost like a kitchen style room. So yeah. We have a first question. David Alvarado. Hi Rob, do you think recording through amp modelers and software will eventually become the standard? Cheers. Do you know what? It's getting pretty good. It is getting pretty good. I tend to use both. I use amp modelers, I use plugins, but most of the time here I use my amps, which are over this side of the room over here. I prefer using amps, but I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to say that I use and I have used a lot of amp modelers and plugins. So it's whatever gets the job done. I think you can make these things sound really good. I don't know if anyone out there has seen it. There's a great interview with a guitarist called Dan Huff, and he was talking about his session work with the great producer Mutt Lange, and he was talking about Mutt Lange. He did this session with Mutt Lange. I think he was working on can't remember the name of the artist he was working on, but he was using a cheap little copy of the Tom Scholz Rockman. It was the English version of the Tom Scholz Rockman. But his quote that stuck with me was that, there are no bad sounds, there are just bad applications. So I think if you know what you're doing with modeling and plugins, I think you can get some really good sounds out of them. I don't think it should be one or the other. I think personally, I just use whatever is going to get the job done. That's what I use. Whatever doesn't get in the way of the inspiration is what I'm interested in. What else have we got? Diego. I've been listening to a lot of jazz funk fusion albums. Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow, for example. Do you have any good album recommendation in that genre? Ooh. I mean, there's loads. There's the Billy Cobham album Spectrum, which is brilliant. featuring the great Tommy Bolin, I think it was, on guitar. I think that's correct. And Lee Sklar on bass, and yeah, Billy Cobham on drums, of course. Jan Hammer on keyboards. I think he's on that. Yeah, I think Jan Hammer's on keyboards on that. There is also, some of the early Tribal Tech stuff with Scott Henderson is incredible. The Chick Corea's first electric band record, I loved. There's so much stuff out there. The early Larry Carlton albums, Lee Ritenour. There's some brilliant stuff. Yeah, I haven't played that in a while. Oliver is asking, Oliver Mora, hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Who are some of my guitar influences? Well, I've got loads. Now, I'm listening to people like Joey Landreth. I love Derek Trucks. Listening to McGee, actually. I know everyone's going on about McGee, but he's a bit of a talented dude. Yeah, young guitar player from Boston. I might be mistaken, but he's yeah. There's I listen to stuff. Jeff Beck still love. Went to see Mark Lecieri the other day at a gig in London. He was incredible. He is incredible. There's Corey. There's so many. Yeah. So yeah, lots of guitar influences. One of my earliest guitar influences was this guy called Alan Murphy, who I've spoken about loads on my channel. Alan Murphy was the reason I sort of got into wanting to be a session musician when I was really young. So I don't know if you know of Alan Murphy, but he was a session guitarist from the UK in the early 80s. Amazing musician and a huge, Jonathan Mitchell knows Alan Murphy. Yeah, he played on Go West. He played for Kate Bush, and then just before he passed away, he was playing for Level 42. He's amazing guitar player. But yeah, Larry Carlton, big fan of Steve Lukather, massive fan of Mike Landau. I love all those players. All the people that did the session stuff, Paul Jackson Jr., Lee Ritenour, Dean Parks. There's so many. Eddie Van Halen, all of them. Holdsworth, Schofield. I could be here all night talking about them. Really like Justin Vernon's playing, actually, from Bon Iver. Big fan of Bon Iver. So yeah, big fan of that stuff. And there's loads of players out there that I love. So who else have we got here? John Jones. So Jazzy Rudy, good to know you're using both these days. That's the modelers and the amps. I'll use anything. I'll plug into anything. I'll plug into an old shoebox if I could make it sound good. John Jones just said, new to your live chat, Rob. I'm a big fan of yours. What are we talking about this evening? Is there a specific subject? Ask a question. I can just talk rubbish for hours. But if anyone's got a question they want to ask, what have we got? Larry and Lee. I'm just trying to catch up with all the questions here. Skydive performer. That's a name. Skydive performer. That's one hell of a name. What does that mean? Does that mean you are a skydiver? If so, if apparently I don't know. Actually I do know, because once I had to Google myself. How vain is that? I had to Google myself, and apparently there's a skydiver who named Rob Harris, who sadly perished while skydiving, I think. So yeah, it's not me. I would never skydive. I'm scared, the older I get, the more scared of heights I become. Um, what else have we got here? David Campbell, how are you doing, man? Oh no, hang on. Chris on strings. Hey, Chris on strings. Saw the Tim Pierce video on Rick Beato, and he played a PRS guitar with no truss rod. What are the pros and cons in your opinion? Do you know what? I would love to try that. I've not tried it. PRS makes incredible guitars. I have a couple here. I've got a Silver Sky behind me. Look, over here. How do I move out of the way? Hang on. Behind me, I have a Silver Sky in there. I've got a Fiore and I've got a DGT. Oh, the Fiore is not in there. But I've got a DGT. I've got two DGTs. I've got a Brent Mason signature. I have a Fiore and a Silver Sky. Paul Reed Smith makes incredible guitars. All the people who work with him make incredible guitars. So, yes, I would love to try the no truss rod guitar. I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure that Tim Pierce sounded great playing it because he's amazing. I should have mentioned him earlier as well. I'd love to know what parts Tim Pierce. I don't know what Tim Pierce played on. You know this song? You know that song. Tim Pierce played on that, but I don't know which parts he played. It's probably the tremolo-y stuff. What else have we got here? David Campbell, how is my own album going along? Very slowly. I'm working on stuff, but it's very slow. I'm sort of busy doing other people's stuff a lot and gigs, so it's quite hard to clear my brain enough to focus on my own thing. That and life, it's an everlasting struggle to clear the old brain box to focus on my own stuff. I've got quite a few songs on the boil, quite a few tracks on the boil, but yeah, I just need to focus on it. I'm doing so much stuff with other people that it's just getting the time to focus on things. I've got a few things that I'm trying to cook up in here. Just to sort of grow my it'd be lovely to make some music and do some stuff from home. As much as I love gigging and traveling, it'd be nice to spend some time at home and enjoy my house because I'm always traveling. Jonathan Mitchell, the track Gresham Blues that Alan played on with Level 2, absolutely stunning. Yeah, Alan Murphy played on that. It was incredible. Jazzy Rudy, what's my opinion on signature guitars or amps? Well, I don't know if you know this, Jazzy, but I actually have my own signature guitar. If you ask nicely, I'll show it to you, but I won't get it out unless you ask. I've got my own signature guitar. I've got a few other people's signature guitars. I've got the Dave Grissom, which is a DGT Dave Grissom tremolo. I've got the Fiore, which is the Mark Lettieri signature, and I've got Silver Sky, which of course is the John Mayer signature. They're great, but I must say it's lovely to have my own guitar, with my name on it. Signature amps, I've never really played a signature amp, so I don't know. I have no opinion on them. I kind of like the classics, Fenders, Marshalls, Voxes, and then, I've got some, don't know if you can see here, if I point to this part here, right there, and there, that is my divided by 13 amp, which I love. That's a great amp. What else have we got here? Alan Hines. Yes, Alan Hines is also Jazzy Rudy is also mentioned Alan Hines, who's incredible. Got great legato, I mean, some of his lines are incredible. I'm never going to do him justice. David Smeaton. How you doing, David? Good to see you on here. Alan Holdsworth helped on the album Guaranteed after Alan Murphy died. He certainly did. I went to see that tour. It was the only tour that Alan Holdsworth did with Level 42, and he was incredible on it. But it did look strange. They did a run of shows at the Hammersmith Apollo. I don't know. I think it was 19 or 18 shows or something like that. And Holdsworth was up at the back, and the way they lit him, he had his Mesa Boogie Tuba 12 cabinets. I just remembered, and they kind of looked like coffins. And Holdsworth was stood up at the back with this long coat on and a light underneath him, so it kind of looked quite eerie. And his playing was scary too. So God bless Alan Holdsworth. What a genius! Never. Why would you want to imitate that? Because he was just completely way ahead of his time. Incredible. Did you know? Could be wrong if you know this. Did you know that Eddie Van Halen helped produce or fund Holdsworth's first solo album? Did you know that? I knew that. I could be wrong. What else have we got? Any Trionic? Oh, you are skydive performer. You are a skydiver. Jesus. Wow. I shouldn't say Jesus. That's bad. That's man. That's just made my knees go wobbly even thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not for me, thanks. But that must be an incredible experience. Wow. Emil van der Linden. Any Trionic vinyl to be expected? Well, there is some Trionic vinyl here. As you can see, I've got some on the wall behind me. This is a bit of news for anybody that might know the band Trionic. Trionic is a project that myself, Ivan Van Hetten, amazing keyboard player, trumpeter, and songwriter, and Paul Turner, we started it quite a few years ago, and we've worked on it on and off for those years, and we've done a handful of live shows. But in going back to what I was saying earlier, I've had to pull out of that project just purely because I've just been spreading myself so thinly that I've not been able to devote time, and it's not been fair on either Ivan or Paul. Just not been able to devote time to it, and I just wasn't around enough to deal with it. So a couple of months ago, I decided to withdraw from that project. I think it's still carrying on, but I just needed to be a little bit selfish with my own time. Feels weird. Yeah, I've not told many people about that, apart from the guys. But I think it's carrying on. I'm not sure. I hope it is. Silk Riff Music has retracted a message. I wonder what that meant. I wonder what that message was. Zachary. Wow, loads of questions. I've got loads of questions here. Right, Zachary Keith. So I'll try and get to as many questions as I can. What is your opinion on stacked noiseless single coils? I've never been able to get along with them and preferred the true ones. I actually have some. I think they're stacked, but in my JB Squire, I have currently. I'm about to change them soon, but I've currently. And they've been in there a long time. Some Kinman noiseless pickups, which are really amazing. But I'm going to change them over to the Sun Bear pickups that are I've got a signature set of pickups that Sun Bear pickups. Stuart Robson from Sun Bear has made me a signature set of pickups, which are in my signature Patrick James Eggle guitar. So, yeah. It was. So that's what I think of noiseless pickups. I haven't tried many, to be honest. I've been sort of used to the Kinman ones, and they're great. But they're great. I mean, pickups. I've not done loads and loads of research into pickups. I haven't I kind of have my guitars and I like what they do. Um, I've not done too much customizing in the pickup department. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I have got the signature set, which are going to be going in my my old JV Squire. Um, it's the same set that's in my signature guitar. Uh, what else have I got? Andy, hello. What inspires you to write music? Well, everything really. I wake up and hear a tune some days, and I might hum it into my phone. And melodies. I'm really into melodies. I like melodies. I love melodies. So yeah, melodies is what I like. Melodies and lovely chord structures. Music is such an emotive thing for me, so but I'm always listening for a good melody, and I like music that's performed by people. Not, you know, I don't mind it when it's machine-like, but I prefer it when it's people doing it. So that's what inspires me is getting having a nice melody and writing a track that's got a good feel to it. Um, yeah, I hope that answers your question. But it could be anything. I could listen to a piece of music and think, oh, I really like what that makes me feel like. So I want to try and write something that makes me feel the same, but not copy it in any way. I try not, never a good idea to copy someone else's music. Great to be influenced by someone else's music, but just don't copy it. Try not to. Skydive performers. Most of the skydivers. Yeah, I can imagine. Jeez, I said it again. Sorry, said it again. Um, right, John Jones, trying to capture a good sound for covering Nutbush City Limits in a cover band. Can you advise as to the effects required? If that was me, I mean, I played that song. It's just, I think, isn't it just like, sounds like just like a DI'd guitar. I can't even remember the line. What's the part? Let me turn my reverb down on my amp. Something like that, isn't it? It's just like a something like that. So I would personally, I'd go for a clean amp that's slight little bit of breakup, and perhaps a Telecaster or a Strat, and play it near the bridge. Playing it near the bridge. Let me show you. So it sounds different. But playing near the bridge. Playing near the bridge is pretty cool. I like it anyway. Jimmy Owen. Is that the Jimmy Owen that I know? Is that you? We've met. I'm sure we've met. Yeah, and we've spoken before. If it's you. Rob, random question. Do you remember when Jamie Oliver did a thing and had you guys on? Yes, I do remember that day. Yes. I do remember that day. Well, it wasn't a day. Here's a little nugget for you. That took place. It looks like it was all filmed in one day, but that actually took place over about 3 days. It took about 3 days to film that episode. We were rehearsing, and they were filming that show. So, yeah, I learned a lot of things about the magic of TV in that performance. Yeah. Robert Bradshaw has said, "Hey Robert, hey Rob, you've got some crackles on your sound, but question who's my favorite bass player?" I don't know. Have I still got crackles on the sound? I don't know. I might have to look into getting something to stream and make the sound a bit better. So I apologize if this sounds terrible. Sorry. I'm just using the microphone in my laptop, I think. Who's my favorite bass player? I've got so many. Can I have more than one, please? of course, I have to. I'm going to say Paul Turner. He's one of my favourite bass players. Then there's Pino. I've never had the chance to play with Pino Palladino, Pino Grigio. I've never had a chance. I would love to play with Pino. I've met him a few times, but I've never had the chance to play with him. Willie Weeks, I love. Lee Sklar, I love. I've had the chance to play with Lee a few times. Um, who else is there? Got to play with Larry Graham once. He was incredible. Got to play with Mark King once. He was also incredible. He was. I was a huge fan of Mark King when I was growing up. Incredible. I've been very lucky, very fortunate, and I'm very lucky that I get to play with lots of bass players these days. As part of the residency that I do in London, I get to play. I get to play with a lot of different bass players. So there's some great talent out there. Who else have we got? Oh, I must be really behind on my questions. There's loads. Don't dream this is over. Yeah, that's ages ago. That Skype performer. Miadin Milosevic. I think that's how I'm saying it. Milosal Savili. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. How does a Silver Sky compare tonally to an old Fender Strat? Of course, I don't think one is better than the other. Just asking about the difference. Well, for me, when I got my Silver Sky, I kind of it felt like a high definition Stratocaster. That's what I remember about it. It felt very clean and very modern sounding. So, I mean, all Strats sound different anyway. I think so. Yeah, Silver Sky's great, but when I chose my Silver Sky, I perhaps tried 4 or 5 and picked the best one. So I've not played that many others. I played a few others, but they're all great. They're great. I'm really a person that picks up a guitar. Yeah, really just someone that picks up a guitar. If I like it, I like it. I don't think about what the pickups are. I just think if it sounds good, it's good to me. I'm very low maintenance with guitars. Kevin, yes, Tim did play the atmospheric stuff on "Don't Dream It's Over" as well as the main guitar. So, I mean, Tim Pierce, what an amazing guitar player, and what a legacy he has of the work he's done. Mr. Maxiowi. Hi, I have a question. I watched the mixing masterclass by Mick Gazowski, incredible Mick Gazowski, who mixed the Automaton album. Apart from one song, I think he mixed everything apart from the song Automaton, actually. The song was Jamiroquai's song Cloud Nine, and he mentioned that the guitar tracks were recorded so well that he didn't do anything to it. Well, that's a compliment. Yeah, it was just a mic in front of an amp. That's it. That was it. I think it was either that. I think it was a mic amp. Yeah, I just had my hot rod. I took my Mike Landau DeVille to the studio, and we put a mic on it and recorded it, and that was it. It might have been because of the part. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but it was, it's just a part, and there was nothing on it. I don't think it was just a clean guitar. I think I definitely used my DGT, my black DGT on that song. Yeah, but he did a great job mixing, and Matt Johnson produced that album, and he did a great job recording it. Yeah, I think we just put a mic and an SM57 in front of it. I think so. Nothing out of the ordinary. But that's very kind of him to say. Yeah, Mick Gazowski said that. Davey Watley, I like Andy Summers and Sting on the bass. Yes, well, what a duo they were. Amazing. When they weren't beating each other up. I think that's what I heard. They beat each other up. Hey, David Beebe, how you doing? Thanks for joining us this evening. How's life with you? Have you got a beer on? Is that the beer emoji? I'm drinking water tonight. I'm saving you the I'm saving myself from the embarrassment of slurring after having a couple of glasses of wine. Um, I haven't had a drink for a couple of days actually, so I'm trying to stay off the sauce for a little while, probably until I'm going to Italy on Saturday to do a little thing over there. So yeah. What else have we got? Greeting from Paris, France. All the best. I feel you're about staying at home. I'm happy gigging, but now the touring season starts again. I know that feeling about missing home. Hey Zoo, is that Zoo? Is that you? Hey Zoo. It is you from Paris. Of course it is. Hey man, how you doing? Busy times in Paris, I can imagine. Getting ready for the summer. Um, we must have a catch up on the phone at some point, Zoo. Yeah, I hope you're well. Um, yes, please. You want to see my signature guitar? Well, you did say please. I'll go and get it. 1 second. Hold on to your hats. Here we go. Here she is. This is my signature. Fresh out of the gig bag. There's my signature guitar there. And this is the reason I chose this color, is because if anyone goes back and looks at footage of Alan Murphy, he was playing a Japanese vintage Squire with a black scratch plate and white pickups. So that's why I ended up buying a JV Squire a long time ago when I was young. And yeah, this is almost in sort of homage to Alan Murphy. So I got this guitar made in that sort of image. And it's a beautiful instrument. I'm so lucky that I have this. I went very subtle. I don't know if you can see that. It's upside down, but I'll put it the right way. I got Patrick to put Rob Harris' signature on the back. There's my little logo thing there. But yeah, I don't think he sold many. I think, but it is a beautiful guitar. It was actually in Guitarist magazine last year. It was cited as one of the best bits of equipment of the year, which is really, really nice of them. But it was it's a lovely guitar, and the pickups are by Stuart Robson from Sunbear Pickups, which you can buy these pickup sets off Stuart. This is my signature set. I don't get anything for it. It's he's got it's just a one-man band. He makes these pickups. But if anyone's interested in buying these pickups, this pickup set, humbucker 2 singles, he sells them, and they're really amazing pickups. I've got Super Pots by Dunlop in here. There's no treble bleed, so it means that when I roll the volume back, it doesn't it darkens the sound, which is what I wanted. I like to roll the volume back and get a darker tone. And then I just have a tone control here that controls all the pickups. It's a 5-way selector. Position 1 is the bridge. Position 2 coil taps the humbucker, and so you get pickup 1 and 2, but it's instant coil tap. And then middle pickup, position middle and bridge, middle and neck, sorry, and then neck. So it's very simple switching system. Because I just wanted something really simple that didn't have loads of switches on it and coil taps and all that kind of stuff, and like push pulls and all that kind of stuff. Very simple guitar. What else have we got here? I'm missing loads of questions. Marcus Cavan, how are you, Marcus? Long time no see. How are you doing? Hope you're well. How do you make a call when playing with real pedals, amps in the recording studio, or live versus quad cortex, and or live versus quad cortex? These days, I tend to use, just because of the situations I'm in, I'm tending to use modelers live most of the time. And just because in the gigs I'm doing, that kind of makes the gigs easier. It makes the gigs much easier for me and for the front of house. On Jamiroquai, I've been using modelers for the whole of the last Automaton tour was a Kemper, and then I switched over to quad cortex. Because I travel around the world with these amps. You know, my old Marshall and my divided by 13 and loads of different amps I've used on live. But when you're talking to a digital desk in a large arena or a large stadium, I personally, for me, when I'm a sideman, I have to keep the volume low on stage. So the best way for me to do that is to use a modeler. I do use some speakers. You know, I've been using some Laney FR cabs on stage, but I just use a modeler most of the time. In the studio, I pretty much use amps all the time. You know, when I'm in here, if I'm going to do a session somewhere, I'll take my amps and I'll use the amps, or I'll use a modeler. It depends how quick they want the part down, what gets the sound the quickest, what keeps the inspiration going the fastest. So I will use whatever it takes to get the part down sounding the best. I'm kind of easygoing with it. You know, I'd much rather use amps live if I could, but if I was going out and it was the Rob Harris band one day, who knows? You never know. I'll be playing in some pub somewhere to 5 people, and I'll have my amps. You know, I want to play with amps, but in the situations I'm in, most of the time I'm using modelers. What have we got here? Ozan, early Richie Kotzen and Greg Howe albums. I mean, they're both incredible. Both incredible. I don't know a lot of their material, but they are incredible. Chris on Strings is asking, how did my Romanian dog, shepherd dog, adapt to life in the UK? He looks like a big cuddly teddy bear. You know what? When we got him, Kenny, our big dog, he was in such a sorry state. He was we got him from a kill shelter, and someone had brought him over here with his brothers and his mum. But they were, you know, he was about to be dispatched and done away with. So he came over here. A foundation called the Biggies League Foundation brought them over here, and they're sort of a non-profit organization. Anything you pay for the dog goes into looking after the dogs, and it's not a huge amount of money. So they do amazing work. But Kenny joined us. He'd never been in a house before. Someone had cut his ear off, literally just taken a knife and sliced his ear off, one of his ears. So he was obviously very scared of things, but he is such a joy to have. He's such a beautiful dog, such a beautiful boy. He's 9 now. We've had him for over 3 years, and he is settled in so well. And my wife works so hard to make sure all of our dogs are having the best life ever. When I come back, I want to come back as one of my wife's dogs. If I go, he's doing really well. But thank you for asking. Zoo. Ichem Zugart. What a name. Great name. But I know you as Zoo. Holdsworth was the type of player that had his own thing and the type of things that can't really be replicated. And it's so personal. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can take a few little things from him, but you're just going to sound like him. A bit like Eddie, I guess. You know, so distinct. You're just going to sound like Eddie. But, you know, I tried a few things. You know, Alan Murphy really sort of was influenced a lot by Alan Holdsworth. So there are a few little similarities, a few little tremolo arm things and chordal choices and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, love it. He's amazing. Emil, you got the vinyl as well, mate. Well, thank you. You bought the Trionic vinyl, that one, the pink one behind us. Diego, what's a deep cut from Jamiroquai's catalogue that you would like to play live that the band doesn't play often or at all? That's a good question. An album I've done that I played on. I'm going to choose one that I've done that we don't play a lot. Time Won't Wait. Time Won't Wait. I love that song. Did we play it? I think we played it on the last tour. Am I in the key? Yeah, I can't remember it. Can't remember my own songs. Yeah, a bit rusty at the moment. But yeah, Time Won't Wait. I love that song. Great. Featuring the late great Derek McIntyre on bass. Bless him. God rest him. God rest his soul. Yeah, really enjoyed that song. Good fun. Didn't even make the it was an extra track for Japan. Didn't even make the whole of the Dynamite album. It's just an extra track. Jazzy Rudy, how do you approach the choice of new pedals? I throw them on the board, and if they sound good and I use them a lot, they stay. I've got loads of pedals in my room, but I do tend to use the ones that I'm used to using. Overdrive. My main overdrive is these days is either a Noble's ODR1, an old Noble's ODR1, or I've got the Shanks ODS one by Vemurum, which is amazing. I've got loads of stuff that I don't use, and I've got loads of stuff that I do use. I have been on the hunt for sort of a new delay type pedal recently that I'm kind of looking into. But yeah, just I don't lust after gear as much as I used to these days. I've got a lot of stuff. I've got some amps coming in tomorrow, actually, some new amps that I'm going to try out from Marshall, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, if I need something, I tend to go and get it and use it until I don't need it anymore, and then I'll swap it out for something I do need. But yeah, guitars is quite a good thing to have around because of the type of work I do. I need lots of different types of instruments here. I hope that answers your question, Jazzy. David Campbell, do we need to remind you to put the pins out again? That was yesterday, I think. I'm sure there'll be something for me to do. John Jones, will I play the Le Freak opening riff, please? Okay. Ready? So, apparently that's two guitars doing that, and they're not playing exactly the same thing. I don't know what he's playing on. I'd love to hear the multi-track of that. If anyone's got the multi-track of that song, I'd love to hear it. But I've got a feeling that one of them is going like that. And then I think the other one yeah, and I don't know whether it's a DI or a whether it's a DI or an amp. I don't know. It could be one of each. I don't know, but it is very, very good. I wish I'd written that. I'm going to take a sip of water. Thank you all for joining me, by the way. Got 54 people here. Thank you. It's really, really, really lovely that you're hanging out with me in my little funk and junk room, which is going to be tidy soon. This is going to look like a film set back here, hopefully, in a couple of weeks. Um, was that all right? The freak riff. Hi, Rob. Silk Riff Music. Hi, Rob. What's your view on using AI for vocals to finish off songs? I do everything but sing, so it's great for completing songs for me. Thanks in advance, Hendrik. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I've never done it. I'm. I am going to do a little video talking about AI. I think because it is a subject that comes up amongst us musicians a lot, and I do have my thoughts on it. Whether anyone would be interested in those, but I don't know. Don't know. I personally have a bit of a thing about listening to stuff that I know that people aren't involved in. Um, I like my music to be real, even if it's a drum machine that's programmed. I like I prefer stuff when I know people are involved. I like to know that it's a real thing. So I get it. I get why people do it. I understand why people do it. And I must admit, I've started using AI quite a bit myself recently. There's some bits of software that I use that help me get to what I need to do quickly. So I don't know. Don't know. It's a tough one, a very tough one, but great question. Uh, hey Jimmy, it is you. How you doing, man? You good? Crackles have gone. Amazing. Matt King, hi Rob. How was it playing with Alphaville? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, traveling around Germany and Sweden, and when I joined, I basically got that gig because a guitarist, Dave Goods, who is back with them now, he couldn't. I think he couldn't make a gig. They had a run of shows, and he couldn't do it, and he let them down, or told them he couldn't do the tour. I don't know why. Couldn't do the tour, and I just got back off a tour with an artist called Mark Owen. Literally got home. I was there a day, and I got a call saying, "Are you available to go to Germany in 2 days' time to do some Alphaville shows?" So I went and did them, and then that started a run of about 3 years of me gigging with them fairly regularly. So lots of traveling around Germany and Sweden, and I went to Russia with them for the first time, Turkey, Israel, went all over the place with Alphaville. And I only stopped it when I got the Jamiroquai gig, really. I worked with them quite a long time. Um, but yeah, some good tunes. Big in Japan, Forever Young, great tunes, lots of fun, lots of crazy situations to be in. I can't. One day, maybe I'll write a book. I don't know. Um, Kevin Lindsay, hey Kevin, hope you're well, man. Um, it's right there. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I can't move out of the way. Where is it? It's right there in the stand, Kevin. Still using it all the time. I love it. Let me know when you need it back. um, uh, talking about signature items, I bought a set of new Pino Palladino flat wound strings today. £90 for a 4-string set. Wow. I'll be eating beans on toast until next payday. Brilliant. But your fingers, but there'll be no string rattle. You know, that's what I use flat wounds for. Get rid of the string rattle. Yeah, I'm enjoying playing flat wounds these days on bass too. I've got this cheap Music Man thing here. One of these. It's really good actually. The Sterling Stingray, but I just bung some flat wounds on it, and it's great. I use it a lot. Flat wounds. Kevin, quick one for you. So I'm doing some 1 day workshops, 1 or 2 day workshops, and I did have an inquiry about whether I'd be willing to go up and do a workshop up in Scotland. And of course, I'd love to, but I'd need a venue to do it. A venue that holds myself, maybe sort of 8 students, if I can get if anyone wants to come to a workshop with me up in Scotland. But yeah, and I'd be probably looking to do it over a weekend, a Saturday and Sunday. But if you can think of a venue, and you know anyone who might want to come to a workshop, let me know. Drop me a line and let me know, because I'm well up for that. It'd be great fun. Marcus Miller would be great. I'd love to play with Marcus Miller. That'd be great. What a sound that guy has. Andy Dirkak, what is the most memorable studio recording experience? One that comes to mind is a day, not most memorable, but pretty memorable. When we were recording with Jamiroquai, the Rock Dust Light Star record, we came up with the song Rock Dust Light Star. We wrote it in the studio, played it a few times, and then recorded the whole thing down as a live take. And then Jay was doing the vocals by like 4 a.m. So that song is pretty much a live take that's been with drums, bass, keyboards, maybe a few keyboard overdubs, guitar, and then Jay doing his vocals later. And yeah, that was pretty much a live take, which was then edited down, because we recorded a longer take of it, and then we edited it down. Can't talk tonight. Jazzy Rudy, any upcoming masterclasses in France? I'd love to. Yeah, I would love to. That'd be great. I've just got to see if there's any demand for it. But yeah, I'd love to come over there. I'm starting to do a few in the UK, just doing like 1 or 2 days, maybe 3-day recording workshops, stuff like that. So what else do we have here? God, I got so many questions. Sorry, I'm getting behind. I'm taking so long on each question. I might not get to answer all of these. Zoo, that is you. I thought it was. CC 1983. You don't have to mention names, but have you, before Jamiroquai or even during that part of your career, any good audition stories worked out and didn't, for better or worse? I mean, luckily, I kind of got. I'm not. Yeah, I don't remember doing an audition that I didn't end up getting the gig. So and I only did a few auditions. I hated auditioning. It was such a nerve-wracking thing. So yeah, nothing of note other than me feeling very, very nervous and not enjoying the experience. Emil is saying cheers. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's great. Jazzy Rudy, your signature axe looks and sounds good. I've been looking for ages for a good HSS configuration in a Strat. Love the Grosh one that Lethierry has, but really like yours. Well, he custom builds them for anyone who wants them. I do know that someone bought one and took it back to a shop near me. So there is one that's built that is an incredible guitar. I played it, it's great. So there is one available. It's in a shop called Music Street in the UK. So if you want to know, drop me a message, and I can put you in touch with them. Zoos off to Spain, all over France and USA and Italy. By the way, your sig sounds nice. Alan Murphy rocked. I'm playing with Matt Baker this week, and I'll ask him some Matt Murphy stories. Lovely, great. Have a great time in Spain. Brian, any plans to tour the US in the near future? None at the moment, I'm afraid. Nothing at the moment. We don't know. I don't know. So as far as I know, we've just got the gigs booked for the end of this year in Europe and the UK, but I'm sure there's going to be loads more gigs booked, but I just don't know. We're just busy trying to finish off the record at the moment. So the Zedsco, am I saying that right? Hey Rob, what are your thoughts on the song Where Do We Go From Here from a live show perspective? I've never played it. I don't remember ever playing it, so I can't comment. Yanis Stathopoulos. Hey Rob, would love to know what your current guitarist you find interesting in if any, apart from the Mark and Corey, which are obvious choices. I mean, there's loads. There's loads. Yeah, there's loads. I did talk about this earlier in the video, so if you want to watch this when I post it up, you can see my answers. You can hear my answers there and see them. Josh James, do you ever use guitar amp sims in the box like Archetype series from Neural or Guitar Rig by? Yes, I do. I've been using the Dream Deluxe 65, which is the Universal Audio one. I've used the Lion, which is also Universal Audio, and the Ruby. I used the Ruby on a session yesterday, actually, which is the Vox one. I've got the Corey Wong plugin. I've got the Morgan plugin from Neural DSP. That kind of covers what I need it to do, really. Most of it covers it. Yeah, I don't need. If I need one, I just get one. But you know, they all sound great. They're all very, very cool things to have. Just checking my phone. 1 second. They're all very cool things to have. So, yeah, I'm going to skip past a few things here. So please excuse me if I skip past some questions. Josh James has said, by the way, I recommend checking out the new single from Ella Feingold and Charlie Hunnam. Ella is amazing. Wow. Her videos are incredible. I love it. Brilliant. Great playing and great lessons that are given on the channel, on her channel. Is amazing. So yeah. Josh, you checked out the Beauty Room record that I mentioned that I played on in my last live. It's really great. Yeah, I love that record. I'm really proud, really honored to have played on that. Really lovely. What else have I got here? I'm missing a few here. Marco, what is your input gain level on the Quad Cortex? I can't tell you. I don't know. I just twist it until it sounds okay, and then I leave it. I don't know. I'm a twist and go type person. I don't, yeah. Just I don't know. Just I twist and go. I can look at it. But off the top of my head, I don't know. Sorry, I can't help you with that one. Miaden, Miss Melosa. I can't pronounce your name. Thanks, Rob, for sharing your thoughts. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to break through on a scene, whether it's gigs or session work? Just do everything. Just do everything you can to break through and meet people and play as much as possible. The more you play, the more people get to hear you play and be around you and hang out with you and check that you're an okay person and that you make the music feel good and you make them feel good. That's my advice, as just do as much of it as you possibly can. Try not to say no to too many things until you can afford to say no to them. That's what I would suggest. It's important to just be around for stuff. So yeah, that's what I would do. Is just try and be positive and turn up and play well and make other people sound good. And if you make other people sound good, they'll make you sound good. And then the better you sound, the more chances, the more doors and opportunities will open up. That's my advice. I hope that's good advice. I don't know. I think I'm nearly at the. I've done nearly an hour. I'm probably boring you all to death here. Um, on flats, zoo. The good thing about wounds, about flat wounds, you buy them, you play them, and never have to change them ever. But for sure, those Tomastics could get you food for 2 weeks for a family of six. Absolutely, I've got Tomastics on my. I've got an old P base, well, not an old P base, a reissue P base, and yeah, yeah, I love playing flat wounds. I like them on electrics as well, flat wounds. Um, is there any update I can share about the new Jamiroquai album? Yes, I can. We're still working on it. So that's the update. There's no other news. When it's ready, and you will know when it's ready. I I will tell you, or someone else will tell you online, but I can't say anything else. It's like Christmas, isn't it? Theo Van Neal Jr. That's a name. What a great name. Um, love the feel of your rhythm playing. Did you work on it, or was it already there? I've worked on it a lot. I play a lot. I do a lot of gigs. I've got a gig tomorrow night, and I will spend at least an hour and a half doing like I'll do that kind of playing for about an hour and a half. So yeah, lots of that. Yeah, lots of that. Lots of playing, and listening and playing. Rodolfo, hi from Argentina. Hello, how you doing? Dave Langhorn. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Uh, Sorry, I can't pronounce that. I have some advice if you want to break out on the scene. Write good music. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's all do that. Um, uh, I'll swap my guitar for yours. Can't get nothing out of it. I bought an amp plug Vox that doesn't work on my guitar. Um, I don't quite. Yeah, don't know. Uh, round and round. Yeah, upside down. Yeah. Anyway, look, I am going to sign off for the evening. Um, uh, MVP, hi, Rob. Good to see you. I thought you would support Arsenal tonight. Yeah, I'm not. Football's not my thing. Football ain't my jam, man. I know nothing about football. um, yeah, I'm going to answer this last question because it's a crazy question. Herman Ali, on a Stratocaster, what microphone position is the best for funk and why? In answer to that question, there is no position that's the best. Every time you put a microphone in front of an amp, it's going to sound slightly different. So, really, the best position is the one that sounds the best when you put the mic in there, and you just have to experiment and move it around until it sounds good. And when it sounds good, press record. That's my advice. Don't, you know, it's that you can. There are a few starting points. I like to point a microphone where the cone meets the paper of the speaker. And if it doesn't sound good, I move it a little bit. And this millimeters, moving things around or away from the amp. It depends what you're playing to. It depends what guitar you're playing. It depends what the amp is. It depends what room the amp is in. There are so many variables. Yeah. So yeah, just experiment. Just experiment. Dave, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you all so much for joining. me this evening. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. I'm going to try and do these as often as I can. Um, I've got a video coming out tomorrow that I've posted. I'm going to see if I'm going to post this one up tonight if I can. I've got to do. I'll post this up tonight, and this will be, if anyone's missed it, they can sit and listen to me talking nonsense for an hour or so. Thank you so much for joining, Dave. If you want to, Dave Langhorn, if you want to check out the other stuff, I played some Jamiroquai stuff earlier. Not loads. I haven't done loads of playing, but yeah. But thank you so much for joining me, and I will post this up, and I will let you know when I'm doing another one, and think of some questions you want to ask, and come and hang out again. And much love to you all. Have a pleasant weekend. It's Thursday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gigging tomorrow. Have a pleasant night, and everyone's just got here. Sorry, I'm missing you all. Watch the video when it's posted up. Much love. Take care. Bye.